This week we are discussing how a diet mentality can set us up for failure. This is when there are rules that we have to follow and we've got to stick to the plan perfectly. Eating plans are a great guideline as they show us what will be beneficial or not so beneficial in us achieving a particular outcome. However, although they provide the information we need, they don't empower us to actually do what it asks us to do. We aren't able to perfectly follow all those rules. If we could, everyone would be getting results. Rules can actually set us up for failure. However, if we use the rules as a guideline and we make decisions from a place of love, then we set ourselves up for success. Today's wisdom comes from Galatians 3 verse 10, and it says, "For all who rely on works of the law are under a curse." What this means is that if we are relying on our own ability to follow all the rules, we actually place ourselves under a curse. Galatians 3 verse 10 explains why. It says, "All who rely on observing the law are under a curse, for it is written, 'Cursed is everyone who does not continue to do everything written in the book of the law.'" Nobody will perfectly be able to follow all the rules. And that is why we place ourselves under a curse, because at some point we will disappoint ourselves. In Galatians 3 verse 2, it says, "Did you receive the Spirit by observing or following the rules? Or did you receive it by what you heard? Did you receive it by faith? Are you foolish? After beginning in the Spirit, so after following the voice of truth, are you now trying to obtain your goal by human effort?" So human effort is when we do it on our own without partnering with the Holy Spirit to produce fruit. Does God give you the Spirit and work miracles among you because you follow all the rules, or because you believe what you heard? Verse 6, "Consider Abraham, he believed God, and it was credited to him as righteousness." So righteousness comes by faith. We can do what is right if we follow the voice of truth, if we have faith in what he is telling us to do, the way he's showing us to go, then we will be able to do what is right. But we need the power of the Holy Spirit. We need the voice of truth guiding us. Then by faith we believe what he tells us, and then we are able to be fruitful and prosperous. So it says, "Consider Abraham, he believed God, it was credited to him as righteousness." Understand that those who believe are children of Abraham. So those who have faith are blessed along with Abraham, the man of faith. "All who rely on observing the law are under a curse, for it's written, 'Cursed is everyone who does not continue to do everything written in the book of the law.'" Verse 11, "Clearly no one is justified before God by the law." So nobody will be justified just as though they never made a mistake. No one will be justified before God by following rules, because the righteous will live by faith. So those who do what's right are led by the Holy Spirit. Being led by the Holy Spirit will lead us to doing what's right. Verse 12 says, "The law is not based on faith." It doesn't require us to trust God. The law requires us to trust in ourselves, and at some point we all fail. Verse 13 says, "Christ redeemed us from the curse of the law." Jesus made a way for us so that we could receive the Holy Spirit. That's going to lead us into all truth. And as we follow the Spirit's voice, then we're able to prosper. We're able to be fruitful, but it's not in our own effort, so that we can't boast in our own good works. But it is by the Holy Spirit we bear the fruit of believing truth. It's the fruit of the Spirit, and we don't boast or take credit for that. Christ redeemed us from the curse of the law by becoming a curse for us. For it is written, cursed is everyone who is hung on a tree. He redeemed us. He bought us back. He paid the price on our behalf, in order that the blessing given to Abraham might come to the Gentiles through Christ. The blessing is the Holy Spirit, so that by faith we might receive the promise of the Spirit. And we are righteous. We are able to do what is right by faith in the truth the Holy Spirit shares with us. John 7 verse 37 says, out of the believer's heart will flow rivers of living water. Water is a necessity for life. In 2 Corinthians 3 verse 6 it says that the letter kills, but the Spirit gives life. So we're able to give life when we follow the Holy Spirit's voice. We're able to give birth. We're able to be creative. We're able to be productive. But we cannot do it in our own strength. 2 Corinthians 3 verse 6, He has qualified us as ministers of a new covenant and has provided salvation through Christ. So we're saved from the works of the law. We're saved from having to depend on ourselves. We now have the Holy Spirit, the power of God living in us. But being under the law brings a curse, and it actually brings death, so that we're not productive. For the letter kills because it reveals our imperfections and it demands obedience, but the Spirit gives life. Where there is imperfection, the Spirit gives us more grace, more power, so that we can do what we need to do through the power of the Holy Spirit, not through the power of our own strength. Eating plans are a great guide. They show us what is beneficial and what is not so beneficial, but it's only through being led by the Holy Spirit into all truth. And the truth is that we are loved. When we are loved, we make good decisions. Love satisfies our appetite, and it empowers us to make the best choices for ourselves.